Good morning, everyone. My name is Evans, and today in this video we're going to talk about linear equation and how to solve linear equations. So first concept we're going to talk about today before going into the topic of linear equation is PEMDAS. So as you guys may already seen that before, whether it's in middle school or elementary school, PEMDAS stands for parentheses, exponent, multiplication / division, and addition / subtraction. So you all, when you're solving for an equation or anything or doing any operation, you always start by solving all expressions inside the parentheses, and you calculate all the exponent, then do multiplication, then do the divisions, and do the addition, and do the subtraction. So this is PEMDAS. So first, before going into the linear equation, we need to define what is a variable, because we're gonna deal with that a lot while we're solving linear equation. So a variable, what is it? So a variable is basically something unknown, you don't know, or it's just a symbol in an equation. The thing, let's just call it the thing you're trying to solve for. Most often it's gonna be called X or like Y, and you're always trying to find the variable. You don't know what it is, okay? So in this video, we're gonna mainly talk about singular variable linear equation. So it's basically gonna have one variable, one X or one Y in our equation. So it's gonna look something similar to like X plus 3 equals 0, right? So this is the kind of thing we're gonna deal with today. So how to actually solve a linear equation? The main goal when you're trying to solve a linear equation is always to isolate the variable. So let's just say you had something like 3x plus 3, let's just say 3x, right? 3x equals 9, and you're trying to solve this. So you're trying to isolate x, and you're trying to find the value of x, right? So to isolate x, there is different method we can go about that. There's different way depending on the scenario that is presented to you. So let me show you guys some different scenarios, and we're gonna solve it together. So let's say 3x equals 9. Yeah, that's one. 3x plus 3 equals 9, and x divided by 3 equals 9, and x minus 3 equals 9. So the key concept you need to understand is that when you're trying to solve equations such as these, you always just do the opposite operation. So that let me show you what I mean. So for this is 3 times x. So you're gonna do the opposite operation, which is dividing on both sides. So you're just gonna divide both sides by 3. So you divide both sides by 3. So this x is gonna cancel out, and you're just gonna remain an x, and it's gonna equal 9 divided by 3, which is 3, right? So this is it. And the same thing for here. This is addition. We'll just subtract 3 from both sides. So it's just gonna equal x equals 9 minus 3, x equals 6, right? The same thing for here. This is this is x divided by 3. So the opposite operation would be multiply. So you're gonna multiply both sides by 3. So the times 3 times 3, and both 3 is gonna cancel out, and you're just gonna remain with the x equals 3 times 9. 3 times 9, which is 27, I strongly believe. Yeah, 27. Then the same thing for here. So we're just gonna do x, and you add 3 from both sides. So it's gonna be 3. So 3 cancel out, plus 3 here, which is gonna equal to 12, right? So this is the basic. So now we can do some more practice. So now we've talked about these concept of solving linear equation, we're gonna do some more practice so you guys better understand them. Let's do some more complex practice, right? So let me just write them out. 2x plus 3 equals 9. Let's put here 2x times 2 plus 2. And this is where PEMDAS gonna come into play. And for x plus x divided by 3 equals 5, and 5 minus x equals 1. Okay, so something I really want to mention real quick is that an equation, for you to have an equation, it has to have an equal sign. If it doesn't have an equal sign, it's an expression, not the equation. I just wanted you guys I just wanted to remind you guys of that. So let's solve for the first one. So we're gonna do, we can go two different ways, right? We can do the PEMDAS way, where we like divide first and then subtract first, but this is gonna be more complex, so we can just start by the additions, right? The addition, we in the equation we often start with the addition or subtracting on both sides, because it's gonna make it easier to solve. So in this, we're gonna have subtract 3 from both sides, which is gonna become 2x equals 9 minus 3. So 2x is gonna equal 6, right? And what are we gonna do here? We're just gonna do the opposite of multiplying by 2. We're gonna divide by 2 from both sides. Divide by 2, so this 2 is gonna cancel out. So x equals 3. So this is your answer for the first one. Okay. So the second one, this is where we're gonna play a lot. We're gonna use PEMDAS, right? So we're gonna do the parentheses first. We're gonna add everything in the parentheses first. So it's gonna be 2 plus 2, which is gonna equal 2x times 4, right? Equals 8. Now we can do the multiplication as PEMDAS say. So it's gonna equal 4 times 2. So it's gonna equal 8x equals 8. And there we'll do the opposite operation again, which is gonna divide both sides by 8, which is gonna equal x equals 8 divided by 8, 1, right? So here, this is a bit more complex. We can do we can start. Oh my god, I think I made a mistake here. Hold up, guys. Let me just check. I think. Oh my god. So yeah, this is not an x, so it's 4 plus x divided by 3. Sorry guys. So here we're gonna subtract 4 from both sides first. So we're just gonna subtract 4 from both sides. So this is gonna cancel. So this is gonna become x divided by 3 equals 1, because 5 minus 4 equals 1, right? And here you just do the opposite of dividing. You just multiply both sides by 3. So this times 3, this is gonna cancel out, and 3 times 1 is just gonna equal 3, right? So x is gonna equal 3. 2. My handwriting sucks. Oh my god. Okay. So here, this seems simple at first, but it's gonna become more complex as we go on, right? So as you have noticed here, probably noticed, the minus sign is in front of the x, not in front of the 5, right? So for here, so this is just plus this is just plus 5 and minus x. So here we can start as we started all the other equation. We're gonna subtract 5 from both sides, which is just gonna equal negative x, because we're gonna keep this, right? Negative x equals 1 minus 5, which is gonna equal 4, right? Negative 4, right? Because if you do negative 5, remember the sine rules. If you guys don't remember the sine rules, you can watch one of my other videos that goes into that, because 1 minus 5 is negative 4, right? So here you're probably wondering, how do I get rid of this minus sign? So there is a easy way to get rid of it. This is basically negative x is basically negative 1 times x, right? So negative 1 times x equals negative 4, right? So here, this becomes like another equation we can just solve for. So as we said on the other time, we're just gonna do the opposite of this operation. We can divide both sides now by -1. So the -1 is gonna cancel on this side, and a negative divided by a negative is just gonna equal 4. So x will eventually equal 4. Oh my god, I run out of space, guys, my bad. And one easy way to check if your answer is right is always when you finish solving for equation, just plug in x. So for here, for example, we can just plug in 2 times 3. So 2 times 3 is gonna equal 6, plus 3 is gonna equal 9. So this check off, and you can do the same thing for every single equation. It's just gonna equal it has to equal this number, right, for it to be correct. All right, guys, thank you guys for watching again, and see you in the next video. Thank you.